easy. He's just got the body and he's just got the style. It looks like it's effortless. That'll be goaltending against Brendan Haywood. Brunson count the deuce.
There's a step slow that time by Haywood, but he's in the right place.
Brunson has 4 points and 4 assists to go with it. As I mentioned, he's been injured throughout the entire season. This just his 4th game back, and it would be on Michael's night. They lead by 7.
Live with the guy who arguably is Michael's coach. When you say Michael's coach, only one name pops out. That's Phil Jackson. He helped Michael build the dynasty. That was the Bulls, and he was honored in 1999. His name in the rafters at the United Center. Meanwhile, let's head back where Michelle Tafoya has a very special guest.
Yeah, and I am surrounded, Kevin, because a lot of people not only came out to see Michael Jordan, but they're seeing the Reverend Jesse Jackson, who's here for this game. What did it mean to you to be here tonight?
Genuine schizophrenia, pulling for the Bulls to win and Michael to shoot 50. But it's such a joy. You know, I watched Michael the time he was in college and got to know him real well while here. And to think that Michael is yet so humble in many ways, one of the most phenomenal athletes in the history of the world. I mean, right up there with Ali is Michael Jordan. I mean, living legend is an expression overextended, but it's Michael Jordan. And tonight, the ovation he got was a real powerful tearjerker.
And he's meant a lot to this league and to the African-American community, hasn't he?
Well, to be sure. I mean, I think basketball, General, he, right behind Magic and then Jabbar, Michael took the game to another level. Many players imitated his dress, his style, his sense of dignity on the court, and his sense of grace. He never lost that sense of dignity that made him a gentleman as a basketball player. And then, so beyond his art on the court, Michael carried himself as a real gentleman and made the whole game better and lifted the standard, I thought.
Art on the court. Beautifully said. Reverend Jesse Jackson, thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, John.
Yeah, Michelle, I'm very fortunate. Next week, we're going to tape a show at Howard University in Washington called Seasons of Change, the African-American Athlete, and the Reverend Jesse Jackson will be part of our panel, so look for that coming up in the month of February on ESPN.
But what he said was so correct. Now, Michael carried himself with so much grace and dignity, and he was by far the best player in the league. You just don't find that nowadays. He wasn't the king of self-promotion. He let his game do the talking.
Jerry Stackhouse with a great drive because needed by Washington's 16-4 run before that. As the Bulls, again, I'll say it, a very, very strange crowd here. It's almost as if people are here for one reason. Brunson carries the shot and then lets everybody else know about it.
Well, they all are, they're still winded from the ovation. Standing up clapping for 3 minutes.
They should have
all
allowed,
the juice out of
they should have allowed 2 crowds of 22,000, right? Let's get the second group come in to make it through the game. Stackhouse now with 7 on the clock, drives into a crowd. Kwame Brown uses the glass, no good. Haywood is there trying to clear some space. He goes up and gets fouled by Donyell Marshall.
And that was a tremendous effort by all 3 involved. Haywood, Jerry Stackhouse, and Kwame Brown. All of them went hard to the bucket. I mean, Jerry Stackhouse started it off penetrating, drawing that defense in. He dropped it off to Kwame Brown, who went up strong with the shot, didn't get it to fall, and Haywood was there to collect the mess, and he went up strong as well. Nice possession for the Wizards.
Brunson now picked up by Larry Hughes. Hoiberg is open and waits for the ball. 3-pointer. You can't lose that guy out there. That's what he does, is shoot. Robinson continues to have a terrific night. He's got 13, and again, it's effortless.
Eddie Robinson believes it's his night. Hitting shots from the corner, getting offensive rebounds, putbacks.
Has he heard of number 23, Eddie Robinson? Does he realize it's supposed to be Michael's night?
Right.
Kwame Brown goes in, not strong enough, loses the handle. A little bit too far away from the hoop to get a clear flush.
Right.
Donyell Marshall fighting to get open. Swings it at Haywood, goes up, nice little jump hook, it's good.
Beautiful footwork that time by Donyell Marshall. Catches the ball outside the lane, gives you a nice reverse pivot, gets himself in the lane, sets himself up with that right jump hook. You can't get to it because he's so long.
Stackhouse and Hoiberg with a quick hand stripped it. And almost able to save it as well. Still belong to Washington, but no change on the clock, so 12 seconds left on the possession. Hoiberg puts in some good minutes and goes out.
Sacrificing his body.
Bulls bench has been terrific with 27 points. And they average about 10 more points per game, the Bulls bench, than does the opposition. Stackhouse gets fouled by Jalen Rose and drops it in. Chance for a three-point play.
That's just strength. When you get up in the air, you can get hit, you get knocked around, and you still have the upper body strength and the balance to put up a soft jumper. Here's Stackhouse working off the screen. 2 dribbles. Hardest thing to do is to put the ball on the floor a couple times, go up with it. That's a guy you can tell who's worked on this game.
Stack with the free throw now with 13 points. Jalen Rose has Jordan on him, thinks better of it, and finds Brunson. Shot clock is at 8 now. Rose down to Blunt. Decides to shoot over Kwame Brown and does.
Blunt's another guy who has athletic ability.
Stackhouse to Kwame Brown on the floor, off the glass, and good.
See, Kwame's got that soft touch in the lane. There's no question about it. I would just like to see him finish with more power, intimidate people. Look what the young player's doing in Phoenix. Amari Stoudemire,
Yes.
He's getting the ball anywhere around the bucket. He's putting it in people's mouths, in their face, whatever he has to do. He's putting balls in people's jerseys. He's ducking it so hard. And Kwame Brown has that same kind of ability. You'd like to see a guy who can come out and intimidate people. Put that ball down with authority. Next time, guess what happens? You get a step in the lane, people are backing off. Makes your job a lot easier.
At 18, 19 years of age, it is not necessarily a choice whether or not you're the intimidator or the intimidatee. It depends on your personality, and sometimes it's going to take a little time. And for Kwame Brown, it looks like it will take a little bit of time.
He still has a world of potential. So he still has that kind of ability.
Jamal Crawford coming back in. And the Bulls have not shot a lot of free throws in this game.
They've been taking a lot of outside jumpers. They haven't been penetrating nearly as much as the Washington Wizards have. You have guys like Stackhouse, Michael. They're penetrating, putting pressure on that defense. That's what gets you to the foul line.
Shot clock and game clock are just about dead even, maybe a half a second apart. So Washington is going to spread the floor and play down for a final shot. Hope to pull a little closer than the 9 points they stand at right now. Teron loose. He's an opening. Throws it up. Larry Hughes had it and then misses the next shot, and time expires. And quite a difference in this trip. Washington into Chicago. They beat them here earlier in January, 107-82. You look at the leading scorers, Jerry Stackhouse with 13. Eddie Robinson with 13 coming off the bench for the Chicago Bulls. Michelle is standing by with Jalen Rose.
Indeed I am, John. Even with you struggling a little bit in this first half, Jalen, you guys have a lead on the Bulls. How have you been able to do it? What do you want to carry into the second half?
Well, we just got to get multiple efforts and play defense. We know they're going to come out in the third quarter. They're going to be revving to play hard, and we just got to match their intensity.
Jordan got the expected 3-minute ovation before the game. This crowd seems to not know which team they really want to cheer for right now. How have you guys mentally prepared for tonight?
Well, we mature enough to understand he's the best that ever done it. He got a statue in front of the building, so it comes with the territory. But at the end of the day, we just want to come out on top with a victory.
Jalen, thanks.
Thank you.
John, back to you.
Yeah, Michelle makes a great point. When you show up for work and there's a statue of someone outside the building and you're playing against them, you recognize something. Coming up, the 1-800-CALL-ATT halftime report. Kevin Frazier and Greg Anthony will be along to let you know what else is going on around the NBA as we continue on Michael Jordan's night here in Chicago. It's been magical already. Don't go away. It promises to get even better. The fans appreciative of Michael Jordan. Then the game started. It was almost like they weren't sure what they were here for. And as a result, the Wizards got off to a slow start. So did the Bulls, but they start to pull away, shooting 51%. You see the free throws, Washington getting to the line a lot more, but the Bulls doing a much better job all along the line. And their bench has been good all year, Sean.
Bulls